Welcome to This Is What I Do, where we explore the work waiting to be done in our community. I'm your host, Aaron Mikey. Today we're talking to Keldon Boone from Norton Shores. Welcome, Keldon. We're pleased you're here. We are the Rotary Club of Muskegon, part of Rotary International, a group of more than 1.4 million individuals from around the world whose goal is to create lasting positive change. We've been doing that here in Muskegon for over 100 years. One of our goals is improving the local economy. This vocational spotlight program assists students in making rewarding career choices. We hope they can remain in our community and improve life here for all of us. That's why we're here today. Keldon, please tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, thanks for having me first off. Obviously, my name's Keldon and grew up in Norton Shores and went to Mona Shores High School, graduated last year. And I currently work at Benton Baker Honda on Henry Street, just down the road in Muskegon. And I'm a express service technician right now.
So tell me, how did you arrive at that job? What drove you to be an automotive technician?
Well, to start, ever since a young age, I was kind of interested in cars. My dad was an airplane mechanic for a while. One of my friends who graduated from Shores a few years ago worked at Midas. And he would tell me stories about how his job was like so cool and he enjoyed working on cars. And I was like, I kind of want to do the same thing. So I went to my counselor at Mona Shores and they said that MCC has a really good automotive program. And I qualified for the Muskegon Promise, and I figured I would get my associate's degree and hopefully get some work in the field. And I looked online and saw that Benton Baker was hiring. And I love Hondas, so I figured it would be a perfect job.
That's really amazing. So what do you find most interesting about your job right now?
The most interesting thing, I think, is seeing the master technicians who've been there for 10 plus years working on cars.
That's really amazing. So you're in auto classes at Muskegon Community College, and you're getting on-the-job training and getting paid for it at the same time.
Yeah, my professor at MCC actually recommends everyone who's taken automotive classes to get a job in the field.
That's great. What do you think is the most challenging part of the job right now?
Well, the most challenging thing I think is staying consistent on every card, making sure you're doing the right quality work and keeping it within a good time frame too, because we're express technicians. We have to make sure we're quick with our work, but we have to make sure the standard is still high that meets the Benton Baker quality of work.
Tell us how you think your job benefits the rest of our community.
Well, I in fact know it benefits the rest of the community because preventative maintenance is important for keeping your cars safe and on the road. Oil changes, transmission fluid changes, differential, brake fluid, and tires, all that stuff is important for keeping the life of your car long. And we specialize in Hondas. We are all Honda trained technicians, and we make sure that just the right work is done for the car, quality work that is up to Honda and Benton Baker standards. And by coming to Benton Baker and coming through the express service lanes, we make sure that the car is done right the first time.
That's amazing. So you're keeping us all safe on the road. Those Hondas driving by me, their brakes are going to work and their tires are well inflated. What a great experience for you as a young man graduating and staying local. Character is an important trait in every career. At least we believe that as a Rotarian and in Rotary. How do you see that fitting into your role at Benton Baker?
Well, obviously, first it starts with trust. The customer is giving us their second, third biggest investment of their life. You know, they have their house, their car, and then you could count kids as an investment too, but the car is a really big monetary value in their life, and they're trusting us to make sure that we do the job done, make sure that the job is done right. And, you know, we're getting in their cars, we're driving them around, they are trusting us to make sure that we're not stealing anything or crashing the cars or damaging them in any sort of way. as well as taking pride in your work. I personally like to make sure that if someone were to come up to me and ask me questions, I would be able to answer them with accuracy, and I would be proud of the work that I do.
I know Benton Baker is across the state. Here in Muskegon specifically, they give a lot of money back to the community. They participate actively in our community. That's really important. How do you visualize your giving back to the community, and how do you relate that back to your job?
Well, I think that giving back to how it would relate to me, giving back to the community is, I'm working on the cars, making sure that the cars are done right, and I'm giving good service to the community, and in turn, they are satisfied with their experience and they keep coming back for business, building good customer-worker relationships and, even friendships.
You're 1 year out of high school. You're a Muskegon Promise Scholar. You are a high-performing high school student. Obviously, you got the promise, receiving that. And you're attending Muskegon Community College. What would you tell a high school senior or junior how would you tell them to prepare for this career field?
Well, I was in high school. I was an all-state academic on the hockey team and got the Muskegon area promise, as you mentioned. And even if you didn't get the promise, you could still go into this field. It just helps that MCC offers automotive classes, and those classes give you the necessary information to take state certification tests, and I already have 4 state certifications. So that really helps out. And ways to prepare, I would say start saving some money. Tools can get a little pricey, as well as familiarize yourself with cars.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
I do, actually. I know some people may be thinking that it takes a lot of work to get into the field, and I may not know this, I may not know that about cars, but you don't have to be a master technician right away. You're not supposed to. That's what the apprenticeships are for. That's what the training is for. That's what even YouTube videos are for. In my free time, I've looked up YouTube videos and car knowledge. But, if you're interested in the field, I say look for a job in it, because that's the only way that you're really going to make a step forward. Hands-on experience is really important for learning.
We thank Keldon for sharing his story with us today, and we thank you for joining us. If you think this program might help someone, please send them the link. And until next time, the Muskegon Rotary Club would like you to consider doing something good for your community.